talk to us? Tripp is one of our BSN graduates, and he's our class speaker tonight, and Chanel is MSN graduate, who will be speaking for the MSN.
Good evening. Before I began nursing school, I had no idea what to expect. I would say it's safe to assume many of the people in this building don't understand quite what the previous 2 years of our lives have been like. But I'd take a brief moment to let each of you know just what you've been missing out on. As a senior in high school, I decided I wanted to go to nursing school. When it came time to apply, I didn't know much about West Georgia, other than that program had a great reputation, which was good enough for me. The first time we were all together as a class was in pharmacology 2 years ago, and I remember it perfectly. You could look around the room and tell just how anxious, nervous, and excited everyone was. Some people had attended this university since day one and knew a couple of other people, but many of us transferred here from other schools and knew no one. Little did we know that over the next 2 years, we would develop strong friendships, experience plenty of ups and downs, and go through more as a body of students than we ever imagined. School's been fairly easy for a select few, Tiffany. But for others, it's been demanding and stressful, which is necessary when you're preparing to have people's lives in your hands. I can remember many 8-hour-long study sessions in the library for adult health, going to the simulation lab to practice our skills on creepy mannequins who could talk, looking like a marshmallow in our school uniforms walking through the hospitals for clinicals, and meeting with teachers to review a test on which I made a subpar grade, which may have happened a time or two, but this is all part of it. A few of my peers have requested that I tell a funny story, but my initial thoughts of school were most of the stressful times and making fun of Brandon on every occasion possible. After digging through the archives, I remember one event that still makes me laugh and practically describes what it was like being a student, male nurse. This previous fall semester, a first-time instructor by the name of Miss Patterson was fortunate enough to have the 4 of us men in her clinical group. During this rotation, we were on the cardiac floor at Tanner here in Carrollton. One night, the 4 of us had finished our work early and were waiting on a few others to complete their final documentation before we left. One of the RNs asked Jeremy if he would help her by getting the vital signs on a patient. Being the gentlemen that we all are, we decided to all lend a hand. The patient was a middle-aged female and was talking on her phone when we entered her room. I don't know if it was our looks, manly all-white zip-up uniforms, or a combination of the two, but she immediately froze, looked at us, and then proceeded to ask whoever she was on the phone with if they had hired Nail Entertainment to visit her. Brandon and I looked at each other and knew we had to go along with it and tell her that was exactly why we were there. Unfortunately, before we could, Corey, the elder and more mature of the group, spoke up and informed her that we were in fact nursing students from West Georgia, not the Chickendale employee she thought she was going to be. We apologized, she was devastated, and life goes on. Without the support of each other and a faculty that could not have been better, none of us would be sharing this day with all of you. We've grown tremendously, and not only as student nurses, but also as mature adults. I think I speak for each of my classmates when I say we would like to thank our entire faculty, each other, and every one of you in this building tonight from the bottom of our hearts for your support. Thanks a lot.
Good evening, everyone. Listening to Tripp's story brings back lots of great